All right, welcome everybody back to Norstead Point. In Session 7, the session began with the party descending into the ship graveyard in Norstead's northern reef to retrieve Fergus's lost trident. As you proceeded into the reef, you began to encounter statues of people with an eerily lifelike appearance. Many of them sport coral and features long permitted by long age, and are partially submerged in the stone and sand of the reef floor. Encountering more as you all descended, Balog shatters one's head to peer inside, noting a coloration difference within. Fergus spies his stolen trident resting upon the seabed undisturbed, and points it out to Maeve, though neither she nor Balog can perceive it. When he takes hold of it, the artifact becomes visible and the ground beneath him abruptly gives way, seemingly parting for him. Curious, Fergus swims deeper, finding beneath the shell of terrain a ruined city undisturbed by time. It is beautiful and advanced, but utterly still. He excitedly returns to the reef above and brings Balog and Maeve through the passage with him to explore the city further. You all find yourselves in a place of apparent significance, and venturing further discover a brilliantly gleaming pearl placed upon some kind of mechanism. The pearl cackles with energy and gleams with an iridescent bloom, occasionally sparking in the air around it. After looking around a bit more, you all return to the seabed above to process your findings. When you do so, you find 4 pale creatures present where the group had initially disappeared below. Upon your abrupt reappearance, they all scattered in various directions and vanished from sight. Returning to the beach, you all rest and return to Finnegan's Bucket to further explore the local cave systems. Working together, you quickly separated pieces of the gelatinous cube and slew its core. Proceeding into the deepest levels of Finnegan's Bucket, you find that the cave opens into a ruined corridor of an ancient structure submerged deep in the earth. Overgrown coral and small blockages occasionally inhibit the path, but clearing them, you all pass through several rooms containing beautiful mosaics, seemingly grown from the coral itself. The first depicts 6 major figures which are shown singing to smaller fish humanoids. In another panel, the smaller humanoids are singing back to the 6 figures. In the final panel, the 6 figures are shown to be in a sleep-like state. In the next room, the second mosaic depicts a group of merfolk living in various places. The centerpiece conveys a coral reef being sung to. The third mosaic showed a large coral building in which several important figures are shown to be singing into the open sea. In the final mosaic, a path is depicted in which merfolk are shown to descend into the open sea. Merfolk return holding round orbs above their head. In every room, there are clear representations of a 6-armed crab. At the lowest level of the sea caves, the path opens to a ceremonial room. Ruined statues kneel beside a large carving of the 6-armed figure. As they enter, Maeve's necklace softly reacts to the shapes and carvings etched into the floor. Willing it to function, she summons a marrow with its magic. Rather than await its usual command, the marrow raised itself upright and sang to an intact statue, depetrifying one of the priestesses. The woman startled at the sight of the group in her ruined surroundings. Horrified at the state of the room and confused at the creatures before her, she attempted to communicate with the party but was unsuccessful. She asked several questions, her panic growing, and eventually gave up. Realizing that she is one of the figures shown in the mosaics to be repeatedly put to sleep, the party begins to understand who she is. Fergus attempts to communicate in simple terms, identifying himself as a friend and trying to help calm her. She shows an apprehension of Fergus, though he does not know why. Balog shows her the bark-covered sphere, and while the woman at first doesn't recognize it, as she looks within she does and is visibly astounded that Balog possesses it. Not knowing how else to communicate, the woman begins to sing, an act which abruptly and unnaturally tears your attention to her. She shows the party how her people discovered Norstead Point long ago and prospered in its reef. They sang to the reef and shaped the growth of the coral with their song. As the city grew, they repeatedly sang into the open ocean, and eventually something large shifted about in the darkness below. The city erupts into celebration and grows tremendously, and the singers continue to sing into the darkness. After the vision ends, the woman taps her chest and introduces herself simply as Ashta. Maeve notices her eyeing the necklace with bewilderment, but she doesn't know why. Realizing the priestess cannot stay in the depths of the cave, the party returns to the surface of Finnegan's Bucket. So you guys are actually over here.
I like how the dead sharks are just chilling in the north.
Yeah, I should probably do something about that.
No, it's fine. It's just funny.
Okay, so you guys are over here. Everybody can see that okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Alright, so I believe, Balog, you said you were carrying Ashta when y'all were moving her to the surface just for comfort. Let me see if I can find. There we go. Okay. So, Balog, you've got Ashta here. And y'all are bringing her back, right?
Yeah, to the city.
Okay. So to do this, you guys are all climbing back in your little rowboat, which y'all had taken to get over here. And once you make it back to the northern beach, you guys are free to work your way up the path and do your thing.
Do you have a picture of this woman?
Yeah, she looks like... This is like her token art that I had previously used for her.
Okay, so definitely not human.
Yeah, definitely not human.
Got it.
It's really cool art.
Yeah.
Like how she actually looks like water. That's really cool. I like that.
And again, while there are clear similarities between the way that she looks and the way that Fergus looks, she actually appears more humanoid than Fergus does, with the exception of, you know, the lower half of her body being a fin. So whereas Fergus, you have like skin, you also have like almost like kind of a plate-like exterior that she does not.
I see.
Or, I mean, however you might describe this.
Does she look okay being out of the water?
Yeah, she totally does.
Okay,
It
awesome.
does not seem
Great.
to bother her. And
Awesome.
when you guys passed through some of the fresh water in the caves, that did not seem to disturb her either. So
Okay.
saltwater, freshwater, NBD.
Okay, friends, why are we taking her back to the city? I don't remember.
Just because y'all weren't going to leave her at the bottom of a dank dark cave.
Do we have a place to put her?
Right, you know, considering how this town took to me when they first met me, I don't think they'll be too kind to her.
Go ahead and roll me an insight check, y'all.
Yeah.
It's alright. Oof.
That's not super great. But I will say, Fergus, of all the places you can think of, the cave beneath the Clifton House does have a spring available in it and isn't too far from town. It's also pretty isolated from everything else. However...
You know, now that I think of it... Oh, yeah.
Oh, never mind. Go on.
Now that I think of it, there's that cave just on the other side we could hide her in. And if she needs anything, we could always get it for her. I just don't think these humans will, He gets this kind of, like, resentful look on his face. I don't think they'd be too kind to her.
Are you talking about the cave with those giant crabs?
Oh, right. It did have the giant crabs. Mm.
Yeah,
Right,
y'all could
right.
probably get those out of there.
Right, it did have them, didn't it?
Right. That small little caveat. Well, any other ideas?
How deep was the spring again?
It was definitely deep enough to swim in, and the cave
Deep
itself was like not terrible or disgusting. It was just that there were two bodies in there.
Ew.
Would it... Very hospitable. Would the water in that spring be deep enough for her to hide in case any of those crabs came back?
Not deep enough to hide in per se, but generally speaking, roll me a nature check. And Baylog, you can roll me a nature check as well if you like.
Don't mind if I do.
Let me double check. Nature. Okay.
Probably help if I open the characters.
Alright, let's see. May 13. So, generally speaking, you guys really haven't seen any other crabs that were as large as these. And it doesn't seem particularly common. You haven't seen crabs, like, climbing up the side. I would say that you generally feel like now that it's been cleared out, it's a pretty safe space. At least as far as, like, other crabs climbing up this, like, really tall cliff and getting to you guys.
Might be the only option that we have.
I say we go for it.
Okay.
Baylog.
He nods in agreement.
Okay.
Okay. So the three of you make your way up the stairs and move through the town. And at this point, I would add, the rain is starting to really pick up.
Is this giant orb still floating in the center of the town?
Still floating in the sky, just churning and burning.
Menacingly.
All right. So, all of you make your way down into the distant cave.
Does Ashta have dark vision? Will she be able to see?
Yeah. This cave is fairly well lit, right? It's facing the let me think about it. It's facing the east, I suppose. Such that sunlight does come in.
Okay.
Or I guess it's facing a direction in which sunlight comes through.
Okay.
Fairly easily. Baylog, there are still some crab corpses off to the side. They will probably start to smell after a little while. If you like, you could just chuck those off the cliff.
Chuck those off the cliffs. Get them out of here.
All right, you get them out
Get
of
that
here.
disgusting stuff out of here.
Clean up, man.
All right. So now you have managed to bring her to this cave. What would you like to do? You do get the sense that she will generally be safe and undisturbed here.
So we leave her here.
Yeah, we can come back and check on her later.
Sure. Before we go, Fergus will just tell her safety and like point to the pool that she's in, just indicating this is where she'll be safe.
Okay. She nods, understanding.
Cool.
Wait. Would I be able to summon a marrow with her to guard her? Would that
Sure.
be...
Yeah, if you like.
Oh,
Okay. All right, I'm gonna
Good idea.
yeah. I'll summon a marrow and I'm gonna command it to protect her.
Okay. As you do this, you will notice that she is astounded. The marrow, the water begins, its surface sort of like tugs upward as if something is sort of like lifting it, and then individual little droplets sort of kind of begin lifting up. And the marrow will pull itself out of the surface of the water and solidify into flesh. It does not look at her, but looks blankly at you, awaiting your command. And I guess you command it to guard her.
I gesture to Ashta and look at it and say, protect her.
It gruffly says something, like flatly, and nods, and then you watch as the creature reaches into the pool of water and pulls up out of the surface of the water a long coral spear. Okay. So you have conjured this marrow, and it has... Come again?
How does she look with all of this, with all that happening? What's her reaction to all of that?
She's astounded. She is shocked that you are able to do this. Okay. Any other questions? So this thing is going to guard her. And I will remind you her name is Ashta.
Ashta.
There we go. Okay.
An idea occurs to Fergus, and he will sign to her, "Do you understand this?" Seeing if she knows sign language. He hasn't tried that one yet.
Let me think about this. She does not understand your sign language.
Okay.
Fergus, I want to point out your illuminations, your like bioluminescence occurs as a natural part of your sign language.
Yes.
It'll be relevant later. I just want to mention that here.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So, Ashta is remaining. She's extremely disoriented. She's still very clearly in shock, right? She's not just like chilling. She's trying to come to terms with what has happened, where she is, when she is. What would y'all all like to do?
Should we go check out that underwater city again?
I'm very interested in that.
Yeah. We can go do that.
Okay. All right. So the three of you are essentially going to return to the depths. Go ahead and make me a perception check, everybody.
Can you pull up our icons so we can click them and roll?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got you. Let me see. Fergus. Daylon. Oh, wrong layer. Leave. The token layer.
I'm not that tiny.
Not quite that tiny.
You're talking about your minuscule shrimp.
There we go. Alright, how do we all do? Okay, so everyone's keeping an eye out for it, but Baylog, you can't see anything watching you, but you can feel it. It's like that hairs on the back of your neck feeling, right?
Yeah, I say to the rest of the group, we are being watched.
And now that Baylog points it out, all of you feel it. There's no question in your mind that you are being watched.
Best keep an eye out.
There are no sharks coming after you, but you can feel it.
Is there any do we see any wildlife present?
Sure, yeah, there's a good amount of wildlife present.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, you guys make your way back to the same approximate area as before, and using Fergus's trident, you are going to once again slip below the surface, placing you all in the collapsed temple.
Place is so cool.
And again, you note that there are fish swimming about in here. Nothing. This place generally seems undisturbed. A gentle light sort of is emitted by each of these columns. And rather than lights being like a light bulb, right, the structure itself sort of just gently glows, as everything is made from this living coral.
Is it like a bioluminescent sort of glow?
Yeah, it's just like a soft, luminous coral.
Okay.
Is there anything different about the fish swimming around here? Like, do they have any specific markings or just anything that would set them apart from normal, average fish?
Make me a nature check.
Nature.
Make me a nature check and a perception check.
Perception, you said?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Maeve, as you're sort of wondering this to yourself, you're like kind of looking at these fish, and as far as you can tell, they really kind of seem the same as the fish on the surface. But as you're watching, you watch as a cluster of fish sort of swim near the stone above and then seemingly pass right through it. And they don't speed up or slow down or anything like that. They just pass right through it like it's not even there.
Okay, I kind of I'm kind of gonna like whack the back of my hand against Fergus's arm and be like, hey, look at that.
Ah, what?
Look at that. And I'm gonna motion up to the fish that are just like kind of disappearing.
Fergus, you watch as a school of fish swim up through the stone, seemingly undisturbed by it.
Huh. Is that the same stone that we came through with the use of the trident?
Correct.
So it's the same stone. It's nothing new. Okay. Well then. Okay.
Well, this is
But
new. You guys haven't
this is
seen
new.
this.
Because they're doing it without the use of the trident. Because I thought it was the trident that allowed us to passage.
It is the trident that allowed you passage in. When you guys are standing on the surface, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. When you guys are standing on the surface, it's solid.
Okay.
Fergus momentarily considers having Maeve hold the trident and like swimming up to see if he can do it without it. And then decides he does not want to let go of that trident, no matter what. Well, can you swim out of it, Maeve? What?
Go ahead and take an inspiration.
Okay, is that a D6?
It'll be a D10.
Oh, I'll take it. Maeve or Baylog, are either of you able to swim out of here, just like those fish?
Balog looks around at the bubble that he's in.
Yeah, Balog won't be able to.
I'll constantly forget that.
I could try.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I go up there and try to follow the fish, the path of the fish.
Okay. So you are going to return to the surface of the ship graveyard here. I'll just put you here.
Alright.
And Maeve, when you return to the surface, you find yourself surrounded
Oh no.
Oh no.
by these very unusual looking creatures. Damn it, where are they? Okay, sorry.
The sea rakes again. Ocean rakes. Ugh.
No invader.
Don't like that.
No.
Oh, they just keep coming. Oh my god.
So Maeve, here's what happens. And Fergus, you and Balog see this as well. When Maeve swims up towards the surface, Maeve, you sort of hold out a hand in front of you, but you actually pass right through the stone. And you swim up to the surface, again suddenly emerging from the stone, to find these creatures are all sort of gathered around the area, once again where you'd all kind of vanished beneath the surface. And then you look around, you see them all around you, and what do?
What do they look like? Do they look
They look like
like
this.
just no? I mean, yeah, but like, what's their demeanor? Like, do they look defensive, hostile? They're like they want to attack, or just curious?
In the first split second, they all seem startled. And you only get that by like their sudden twitch in your direction.
Okay. All right. And after they see me, are they just staying there watching me?
So are you saying you sort of come up, see them all around you, and then you just sort of like linger there? This is like a time slows down kind of moment.
I'm startled, and I guess I'm just trying to get a read on their demeanor. Like, I mean, they're obviously creepy looking, but are they
Okay.
hostile or just curious?
So here's what happens, Maeve. As soon as they all startle and look at you, they are going to turn and instantly dart in on you, latching around you,
Oh,
and
God.
bundling up on your person.
Oh, no.
Below the surface, Fergus, you and Baylog are standing in the room below. Let me change the music so it doesn't like switch over this music.
It's creepy music.
No, thank you.
That is good music, though. That's like
Oh yeah, for sure.
ominous.
So Fergus and Baylog, you're sort of like standing here looking up, and Fergus, you're kind of over in the water. The two of you watch as Maeve disappears through the stone, and then just silence.
How long?
A couple moments
If
goes
she is
by.
if she is not back within 10 seconds, because the goal was to see if she could go out and come back. If she's not immediately back, Fergus will follow.
Okay.
Log will start climbing up.
All right. So, Maeve, go ahead and roll me initiative as these creatures all collapse on you and attempt to seize you.
Wait, what? Oh, token. What is? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you're probably buried beneath these things. Let me get them out of your way there.
Okay.
So I'll actually put you on top. Okay. Okay, Maeve. So, as these creatures sort of dart to you and attempt to latch onto you, you're going to roll a 15 to attempt to escape them. And unfortunately, with a 15, that is not quite enough. So you are instantly set upon, they sort of bundle up on you. And Maeve, as you guys sort of thrash about, as they sort of latch onto you, you are going to bump back down against the surface of the ground, unable to go through the other way. And you appear to be isolated out here with the others. So, unable to escape, it appears you are grappled here with the three of them. Is there anything you would like to do?
Am I completely restrained, like my arms to my sides, and how restrained am I?
I would say you are grappled but not restrained. You can still do what you need to do.
Okay.
You
Then.
just won't be able to move, like, around here.
Okay. How? Okay. I'm going to get. I'm gonna get an arrow out of. I'm gonna take out an arrow and try to stab one of them in their eyes. So I don't.
Okay, go
That be
ahead.
crossbow, dagger, or.
I'll let you make a dagger attack.
Okay.
Okay. So, Maeve, as you pull this arrow from your back, you're able to thrust it into one of these creatures. And you find you're actually able to pierce it very easily. And as you do so, there's sort of a soft, almost like electric tingling shock that you kind of feel. And you can feel a kind of thrumming of its internal organs as they kind of vibrate, and its chest is going to reactively sort of splash with color across its center as this arrow pierces it. And the wound will begin leaking this inky blue blood into the water around.
Would I be able to summon a marrow for aid? Or would that be an action or a bonus action?
That would be an action, but you do still have a bonus action.
Okay. What would my bonus actions be as I'm trying to look.
So as a bonus action, you can make an offhand attack.
Okay.
Let's see, you could also try to dash, dodge, or disengage, but unfortunately none of those would help you due to being grappled.
Okay, yeah, then I'll just try an offhand.
Okay, go ahead and roll another one.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. So with a critical strike, Maeve, I would say you are able to strike this thing once again, dealing, let's see, 7 damage. So this thing has now suffered 14 damage. Again, it's going to flash with like a brilliant color. It flashes rapidly in multiple colors, right? And it recoils, and this one is actually going to sort of let go from you, but these other two are still sort of clinging on. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And anything else you want to do? You can't really move, so that should be about it for your turn.
Yeah, that's not much else.
Okay, go ahead and roll initiative one more time. Okay. Alright, let's see how we do. Oof, okay. Alright, Maeve, you are up one more time. Go ahead and make me an athletics check. Or I'm sorry, a
Dex?
athletics or acrobatics check here.
Okay. Athletics or acrobatics?
Okay, Maeve. You are able to pry yourself away from the grasp of this one, and the two of you here are sort of darting about through the water, sort of tumbling as it affects your ability to control the fin on your back and direct the water as needed. However, you have wounded one and shaken off the other.
Okay.
Now at this time, Fergus, could you roll me an initiative roll?
You got it. Oh, can you
yeah,
put Fergus
I
on the
gotcha.
screen? Okay, I
Yeah.
just.
Sorry. So let's
I
just
was like,
say
wait,
at
why?
this point, Fergus.
Oh no, he doesn't have to
Pops
be
up
there.
out
I'll
of the
still roll
ground.
initiative. I just need him there so I can roll.
Well, this is essentially what's happening. You're actually like rising through the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you do so, Fergus, you are going to see Maeve struggling and kind of rolling across the surface with this invader over here. And there are these creatures, and they all seem to start at your sudden appearance. So if you like, you may go before they do.
Cool. Seeing one trying to drag away Maeve, it looks like. I don't know what it's doing. He's going to lunge forward with his trident. Oh, okay. I actually don't have a button for his trident yet.
You could treat it as like your harpoon for now.
Okay. Cool.
Where's your harpoon?
17 to
That's
hit.
Yeah, you can make that a D10, generally speaking. Okay, 17 will absolutely hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's 8 damage. And then... what is this? Yes, flurry of blows. So after he hits with his trident, he's gonna do 2 unarmed attacks. Punch. Ooh, 24 to hit. That's 6. And he punches again.
Okay. Alright, so
Do all of those hit?
your first attack does, but here's what happens, Fergus. So you swim forward, propelling yourself to build momentum for your strikes, and holding your trident out in front of you as you dive toward this invader, which is sort of wrapped around Maeve. You sort of drive your trident in, and together the three of you plunge beneath the surface as the ground parts for you, Fergus. And all three of you are going to simply appear as Balog is sort of climbing this column back here. The three of you are going to sort of just appear through the roof over here of the temple below. Your first strike will connect, Fergus, but as it sort of rides, your second one will actually miss as it sort of pulls away from you.
The 24 misses?
No, the 24 hits, the 14 misses.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, no problem. Can I use my inspiration on this?
Yeah, you certainly can.
Is that how that works? Okay.
So, be a d10 to your attack roll.
Got it. Yep. Plus 7 to that 14.
Plus 7 for 11 damage. Holy crap. So let's see, you did 8 plus 6 for 14, plus 11 for 25. Okay, so how do you do this, Fergus?
Haha. He impales it with the first strike of his, oh my god, with the trident. And with two of the holes that have been made with the trident, he puts a fist through both of them.
Okay.
And that's how he does it.
Okay, Fergus. So, as you're striking this invader, Like Maeve, when you pierce into its organs, its body will, its nervous system will sort of responsively react. And to your surprise, a brilliant flash of color ripples across its body, and you recognize this as like pain, right? It's like an abyssal word for pain as it sort of ripples outward. And then as you deliver your final blow, it is going to ripple, or crumple rather, and die.
And that's the only one that's in here.
That's the only one that's in here.
Any more coming from the top?
They are not.
Were there... Do I have any marks on me left over from that? Like, I don't know if those were tentacles. I don't... Like,
Yeah, nothing lasting.
Nothing? Okay.
Oh.
Its body just sort of slowly...
So I just watched them like drag this thing in with them as they fall back towards me.
Correct, yeah.
Oh, well, I just climbed down.
Are you alright, Maeve? I didn't mean to send you up to be attacked. We were just testing the ceiling.
I didn't know those would be up there. Guess that's what was watching us.
I did not make that connection. You're right. that tracks. Well,
Did we all...
best be... Go ahead.
Did we all see these when we first came up the last time?
Yeah, I think so. But they kept their distance.
Yeah, last time they ran away.
Yeah, only for an instant. They instantly all darted away as soon as you got to the surface.
They're getting comfy.
Or they saw a singular person and saw you as an easy target.
Roll me an insight check, Maeve.
Oh! Do it!
You can roll me an insight check as well, Farius. Okay, so Maeve, last time when you emerged through the top and you saw them lingering up there, there were just a small handful of them. This time, however, there was a much larger group.
It's almost like they were waiting for us to come back.
Baylog is going to interject to say, perhaps it's time to make our presence known. Does he still have the spikes on him?
Yes, you do. I believe you currently have 3 days left, including
All right.
today.
Baylog has the mindset that this is a territorial dispute that's going on here, and these things need to be taken care of. Otherwise, there will be a problem.
I think it'd be good to take care of them. They don't seem like friendlies, but...
They didn't
it might
follow
also-
us.
They can't follow us. It seems, otherwise they would. But I think it'd be worth trying to figure out who they are, why they're here, why are they trying to get in.
Then we capture.
Oh.
This one's very dead.
You know, we
Yeah,
could
that's-
use the same tactic. Maeve goes up as bait. Sorry, Maeve. And
Why don't you go up as bait?
well,
I will go up. You get in this climb.
sure.
Does the ground open up for me?
Nope, it does not open up. However, once you reach the top, Baylog, you find you are able to move through it.
Oh, okay. It just easily
Yeah,
move through it?
yeah.
Okay.
You're not going to have an issue moving through it.
Alright. So I climb up just to the surface.
Okay. So here we go.
Now, the way the ground works, do you have to dig through it, or is it just like part? Like, how does that work?
Let me think about this. I was kind of wondering how we were gonna figure out the hard physics of this.
Is this like platform 9 3/4?
Essentially, yeah.
Oh my
So I'm
God.
having to like describe how he's able to climb through 9 3/4.
Like a
So
like
the
a
ground
one-way
just
platform 9
doesn't
3/4?
visually part like it does with the others, but it will still. It's just like, you know, I clip through it basically.
Yeah. Essentially, yes.
Okay, that's all I
And
need
and
to
it
know.
didn't part for Maeve either. She's just also able to essentially clip through it.
All right, well, that's good enough. Are these things waiting?
So, yes, these things are all lingering above, but Baylog, as you emerge through the surface with this bubble around you, they're going to sort of swim over and around the bubble, but they don't actually enter it.
Damn, I'm not gonna be able to catch them either. I pull out my axe and I challenge them.
Okay. Let me think about this. Make me an intimidation check to challenge them.
Yeah. Fight me.
Okay. All right. Let me think about this for a second.
Attack me, cowards! Oh.
So here's
Damn.
what's gonna happen, Baylog. What's going to happen is swimming over you, a couple of them are going to attempt to drop down into this space onto you. Can you make me an
Alright,
athletics check?
I want to counter that with a bear hug to one of them too.
Ooh, holy shit. Okay. Alright, so, Baylog, they latch around you, but as each of them does, your spines are going to pierce each one for 2 damage. And the others are going to simply observe.
Okay.
Alright. Okay, go ahead and roll initiative. Very nice. Okay. Alright, so Maeve, Farius, y'all are still beneath the surface. And with a lowly 6, Baylog, what would you like to do here?
I'm gonna try and break free and grapple one of them.
Well, they are each grappling you currently.
Alright.
However, their movement seems to be impeded by their inability to swim.
Alright.
So nobody's currently moving right now.
Well, I'm gonna break free of their grapple.
Okay, go ahead.
Grapples.
Make an athletics check to try and break free. Whew, that's pretty damn strong. Alright. Ooh, holy shit. So you beat it by 1. Alright, so Baylog, tell me what exactly you're trying to do here and how it happens. As you essentially break
So
free.
I break free of them, and then I'm going to pick one. I guess this one, I'm going to grab it and then shove it into the ground right below, like into the where I came from.
Okay, so you grab it and you smash it into the surface, but Baylog,
Yeah.
as it hits the ground, it just sort of smashes against the seabed, which is solid.
For my next trick, I'm going to hit it with a great axe.
Okay, go ahead and make me an attack.
Oh my god.
Okay, so with a 12, so you're holding it with one hand and you reach back to grab your axe, but these tentacles sort of lash about and like sort of push at your face. And as you bring your axe down, the creature sort of writhes and the axe is not able to land a good blow. Anything else you want to try and do?
No, that's it.
Okay. Below the surface, a second goes by as Baylog disappears above the stony ceiling. And then another. Fergus, Maeve, anything y'all had in mind?
Can we hear what's going on the other side, or can they hear us underneath at all?
It's not making a whole lot of noise. I would say probably not.
Okay.
Well, I was just gonna do the same thing we did last time, which was wait 10 seconds and then come up directly underneath where I saw him disappear from.
Okay. Okay. So here's what happened. After a few seconds, Maeve and Fergus, you're swimming up through the ground directly beneath where Baylog was. Let me think about this.
Yeah.
It's a 10-foot shell. You emit it like 10 feet around. Okay. So Baylog, you are going to suddenly and abruptly drop with the Pale Invader beneath the surface as you come free falling right past Fergus,
This damn bubble.
who has opened up a floor essentially beneath your feet. And
This is a far drop, isn't it? Can I try and catch? Can I try and grab something before I...
Yeah. Go ahead and make me a strength save as you try and grab something.
Oh my god.
So Baylog, here's what happens. You are able to fall, right? You're like falling this way. And you are able to kind of grab something, but you're falling too fast at this point, and it just sort of swings you off. And then you and the creature are going to tumble to the ground here.
Can I try
roll?
and help him?
How would you like to help him?
I would like to try and shoot Baylog with my harpoon and slow his fall.
Sure.
So he doesn't take as much damage. Hopefully the harpoon doesn't do much damage to him.
Yeah,
But I'm hoping overall I save him some damage.
This is a cool idea. Go ahead and roll it.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Baylog. Oh no.
12 damage.
Ooh,
Alright.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Alright, 12 damage. Alright.
Shit.
So, Baylog, here's what happens. So, Fergus, as Baylog is like free falling, and it's a pretty big drop, right? Thinking quickly, do you shoot or hurl your harpoon? How do you envision this?
I kind of imagine it was kind of a harpoon gun. So like I shoot it and then I hold the gun portion of it connected to the rope to hopefully pull up as he's falling so it slows his fall.
Okay. So, Baylog, as you are falling with this creature, Fergus thinks quickly and shoots his harpoon gun, which is going to pierce the height of your armor and into your shoulder. And then as the two of you fall, so here's kind of what's happening, right? Let me put this. We got another Pale Invader. Let me grab him over here. So as the two of you are falling, Baylog is going to continue to free fall. However, Fergus, you are now being tugged downward as well by their weight. and you're sort of swimming against it, so you're able to essentially like slow the fall. But you guys are all going to sort of get tugged downward. And so I'll say the most of the fall, or most of the damage here, is going to come from hitting the ground, Baylog, and not necessarily from Ray like shooting through your arm or something. So I would say you have slowed the fall damage to just 12 damage. Does that make sense?
Sweet.
So I take the harpoon, the 12 damage from the harpoon, and the fall damage, 12 damage?
No. Rather than the 12 damage being the harpoon, like 2 of that maybe comes from the harpoon piercing your armor, and 10 of that just comes from the slowed fall damage.
Oh, okay.
Just reflavoring that damage a little bit.
Alright.
Okay, so this thing has now taken 12 damage as well. Or I guess I said 10 damage, so we'll get 2 back. So this thing is wounded, but not yet dead.
Not yet dead.
Does Baylog currently have it grappled?
Yes.
Cool.
So, quick question. Do y'all want to proceed with this scene given that we have to hard stop in 9 minutes? Probably 8 minutes by the time we're done. 8 minutes now. Or would y'all like to hold off here, think about what y'all want to say, and then pick up from here next time?
I think this is a good pause, because I want to
Yeah.
spend
Yeah.
some time on this guy.
Okay. Alright, guys. Awesome. We'll go ahead and stop it here.